world of magic, everything that disappears reappears. Whew! It is very good to be back.
Come up, you're gonna be our helper.
Okay, disappear in 3, 2, 1.
J. Daniel Atlas in the house. Who wants to see a magic
welcome
trick?
back to my channel and time for another episode of Luke's Reviews. On today's video, the famed magicians are teaming up yet again after quite the hiatus in a new series of magical escapades in Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It really is the perfect title. Many years have passed since the Horsemen last performed, and the group is now scattered. So much so that 3 youngsters are seeking to take their place, putting on performances trying to pass as the actual Horsemen. This soon catches the attention of J. Daniel Atlas, who persuades the newbies to join him in uncovering and putting a stop to a dangerous criminal network. And along the way, the original Horsemen join the fray. Truthfully, I somewhat forgot that this franchise existed. The first came out in 2013, and it was enjoyable enough movie. The sequel came out a few years later. That was slightly less enjoyable. And then silence. And now 9 years have passed, and all of a sudden the franchise has, I guess, somewhat been resurrected. I didn't really know if anyone was going to care all that much. But, you know, I suppose, like any good disappearing magic act, they have to reappear eventually, and thus we have Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And has it been worth this nearly decade-long wait? It's fine. It's okay. Here is what you need to know about Now You See Me, Now You Don't, is that it takes the very well-worn formula that we saw in the first film and then rinsed and repeated for the second, and it sticks to it like glue for the third. The strongest praise that I can give the film is that it feels like a Now You See Me movie. You know, there's plenty of nifty tricks that are going to help the characters get out of tough scrapes. There's twists aplenty, a whole Robin Hood ethos that provides the motivation for why they're doing what they're doing, often taking down corrupt individuals, or in this instance, an entire criminal network. We always get far too much exposition revolving around the mystical eye and how it's got some predetermined path for all of these characters to go on. All of the characters, both new and old, they of course get at least one moment in the spotlight where they get to do some tricks towards the camera because the actors have clearly practiced magic tricks behind the scenes, so they need at least a moment to be able to show that off. And yeah, there's like a lot of wisecracking too. It feels like a Now You See Me movie. I've said that already, but that is honestly the best way that I can summarize the film, and I think whether you have enjoyed the Now You See Me movies or not will be entirely dependent on whether you like this film or not. It also contains a narrative that, I mean, like any magic trick, the closer you look or the closer you examine, the more disappointed you become. It is extremely ropey, and at many points, I kind of had to force myself to remember to pay attention. What also doesn't help is the villain. The antagonist of this film is played by Rosamund Pike, giving a South African accent for the ages. I mean, truly, why? Why? Her villain, honestly, wouldn't have looked out of place in a hammy 50s caper. Luckily, the chemistry between the Horsemen, which is one of the driving forces of any of these films, doesn't look to have missed a step. Jesse Eisenberg's Atlas is still as cocky and brash as ever. Woody Harrelson's Merritt often remains clueless. Isla Fisher returns as Henley, and Dave Franco is back flinging cards as Jack. As for the newbies, I have my reservations, because when I looked at the casting, I felt that they were clearly geared towards revamping the franchise and that these will be the actors that take over, and I didn't know if that was necessary, and I didn't think that the selection was particularly very strong. I have to eat my words. I think that these 3 did a really solid job. Ariana Greenblatt did very well as the sleight of hand specialist. Justice Smith was good as the more reserved behind-the-scenes technician, but it was actually Dominic Sessa who impressed me the most. I thought he was terrific in The Holdovers, but in this, he proved to me that he can comfortably play a lead in a larger scale movie. I'm not exactly raving about Now You See Me, Now You Don't, and my life hasn't changed significantly from watching the film, but at the same time, it is the type of movie that does what it says on the tin. So if you want an easy to follow story with nifty magic and crowd pleasing humor and action, then Now You See Me, Now You Don't has those things. It is the best definition of a 3-star movie I can think of this year. So I'm going to give Now You See Me, Now You Don't a 6.5 out of 10. Anyway, guys, those were my thoughts on Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Let me know, have you had a chance to see the film yet? What did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And my question to you, not necessarily a movie-related one, I just want to know, who is your favourite magician? Who is someone that when they perform on stage just knocks your socks off? I am going to cheat ever so slightly, and I'm going to say Darren Brown. He doesn't define himself as a magician. He prefers to use the term illusionist or mentalist, but I've been fortunate enough to see him a couple of times on stage, and each and every show that I have seen him do just bowls me over by what he is able to accomplish. But that's all the time we have for today, so thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
Hello, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to click that like button, and if you aren't already, click that subscribe button too.